news. And this all comes as the state debates taking over HISD. They may also close one consistently failing high school. Adam Bennett spoke to state lawmakers about what they think will happen next.
The stakes are high for these low ratings. The state has taken over school districts before, the largest being El Paso ISD, but Houston ISD has more than 3 times as many students.
That our schools are the engine of the American dream, and that they have proven it here at Stevens Elementary.
Texas Education Agency, or TEA, Commissioner Mike Morath spent the afternoon at Aldine ISD. He and other state leaders and lawmakers highlighted that district's big strides in the ratings.
I think that's it. Thank you very much.
But Commissioner Morath left without taking any questions, including the big unanswered one. What does the state plan to do now with HISD? The TEA can take over a district if it's gotten 5 straight failing grades as of last year. This year, HISD's Wheatley High School made that list.
They've missed a lot of chances to make a difference, and at least I believe that they're out of time at this point, and I believe a Board of Governors is almost virtually going to happen.
The TEA could also close those chronically underperforming schools or let an outside group run it, which HISD has rejected in the past. A TEA report recommends the Houston Independent School District Board of Trustees be replaced by a board of managers appointed by the TEA commissioner. The recommendation is reportedly based on alleged misconduct and other infractions, including possible violations of the Open Meetings Act.
We don't see that we have any extenuating circumstances where we would need to appeal, but however, we still will go back and look at it. We have until October, if I'm not mistaken, to appeal.
Dr. Lathan told us today Wheatley High School will remain open. State lawmakers told us that the state's decision on HISD is still likely months away. Reporting from North Harris County, Adam Bennett, KHOU 11 News.